The reason why we need more Stoicism now more than ever, because we are bombarded with misinformation and disinformation. Why are we sold so much BS? Is because people would like us to do what they want because they kick you in certain parts of your mind to get you to react immediately. Because if you react immediately, you will be irrational, immensely irrational. And there's nothing worse than an irrational person who can't seem to get it freaking right. And if you can't get it right as an irrational person, then hell, who else can? So it's those things that exist that make us have to wonder, man, why? Why am I being told to do this and with such urgency, and it doesn't seem to be important? There are attitudes that people have that make sense. There are. We all should dislike and want to harm people who hurt children. But we all should be 100% committed to making sure that we understand those people so that it never happens again before we just wipe them off the earth. You need to study the viruses before you get rid of the viruses so that we don't create another one, so that it doesn't mutate. Majority of the people that go around harming these kids have been harmed as a kid themselves. So the question then becomes, yeah, we're going to get rid of that person. I'm not saying that we're not, but we also need to look at the fact of how is it that we stop kids from being harmed in the first place so that they themselves as the victims don't begin to victimize. Just food for thought. We have to have the patience to know that. We have to deep dive psychiatric evaluations on these individuals, because if we do not, all we do is paint another illustration of somebody else while the others who do this stuff try to hide in public. The majority of those who have been harmed typically comes from a family friend or a family member, and that is the scary part. If we don't like certain people's orientation, and their orientation basically came because somebody took their innocence away, should we shun them that much? Or because you don't understand their pain and you don't have the patience to listen to understand? It's those things that exist. It's those things that should scare you. It's those things that are alive well into the night. So it is what it is. If you do not receive anything about this message for you, then cool. But if you do, just share it with somebody and tell them, hey, just listen, man. Just listen. I listened to this and I thought you needed to hear this, because you yourself, you have been behaving in a way that you think is saving time. But at times, sometimes we need to do things slower. We need to, so that we don't have to do it all over again. Imagine making something quick as hell and you make a big old mess. And it takes you an hour to do it. And you're doing it as fast as possible, but the mess you made is going to require another hour. That's 2 hours. But imagine if you took your time and you got it all done, and it takes you an hour and 30 minutes. You don't have to worry about the mess and all of that stuff. Do you realize that now those 2 hours became 4? If you do it twice now, that it becomes 3 hours. You just saved yourself effectively an hour. And if we keep on doubling, that becomes 2 hours, while the other one becomes 4. And the other one becomes 4, it becomes 8, while the other one stays 4. You see the gap? Now we're saving 4 hours. Time